What's up, my beautiful family? It is your girl Tera Chantelle. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for being here today. Let's unlearn a few things, okay? Because every time I connect with my brothers, like on a heart-to-heart level, I ask them this question, right? When is the last time you cried? They can never answer this question. It's mind-blowing because they never know when the last time they shed a tear. And that explains why mental health is at an all-time high, because men have been subconsciously programmed to suppress how they feel, to not tap into their emotions, to not express themselves correctly. They have been unfortunately looked down upon for truly being in touch with themselves. So this simply explains why it's so much animosity, so much jealousy, so much passive aggressiveness towards women, because women, we are able to freely express ourselves. We are able to freely connect with our heart chakra. We are able to freely tap into our emotions and tap into our intuition. So that ends up being such a beautiful thing when we all tap into our divine feminine, our divine masculine, because we have both of these energies within us all. So we should be confident enough and being aware enough so we can adapt this emotional intelligence that we all need, because emotions is a human characteristic, okay? And we gotta let it out. We shouldn't have to suppress it. We shouldn't have to feel like we can't truly be ourselves, especially with ourselves. And I'm not saying like, okay, just cry in front of everybody. No, when you are with yourself and you're connected with yourself, let that out. That is called detoxing. This is a bodily fluid that we don't need to keep in. Like, crying actually helps our eyes. It actually helps us to be more lighter in this world, to not take things so personally. And that goes with grieving. Like, this goes with anger. This goes with so many other emotions that we can truly be tapped into if we connect with crying. And it's so many benefits to crying that we should all embrace and we should all love on, because this world will be at such a more balanced place and so much more harmony when we are connected to our highest self and our inner self, and listening to our heart instead of listening to our head. Instead of being so logical, we can truly have this emotional intelligence to tap in, to be aware of other people's emotions, to be aware of our surroundings, to be more aware, more conscious. And now we're not unconsciously moving throughout this world and being a robot and being detached from ourselves, because we're not doing any justice to each other and overall to ourselves when we are not honest with ourselves, when we're not clear with ourselves and we don't know how we are feeling. We are going about this life on autopilot. We're just going throughout this life and suppressing how we feel and holding it all in because we feel like people don't care, or we feel like we're gonna be judged, we feel like we're gonna be looked down upon, or we feel like we're not being a masculine man if we truly shed a tear. But I just want to remind you, that is vulnerability and that is strength when you are amazing at tapping into your emotions. You are aware of self, you are aware of your highest self, and you're connecting with how you feel. This is human characteristics, to feel. To feel means you're alive, and when you are alive and well, that means you can vibrate on a love frequency. You vibrate lighter, you feel more freer. But we don't judge you for simply expressing yourselves, because all it is causing this world to be more chaotic, to have more chaos when people are not tapped into their highest self or their emotions. This calls for emotional intelligence. You don't have to be emotionally unavailable. You can just have emotional intelligence to be mindful of other people's emotions and how you feel. this calls for self-awareness, and I think that is the key to this life. You're never going to be judged for having emotions. It really means you're alive at the end of the day. But we have to subconsciously unlearn that being weak means to cry. That is a bodily function. Like, we should not hold that in. It has so many benefits overall. So we should be aware that crying leads to happiness, leads to joy, leads to a more freeing experience here. And I thank you so much, family, for tapping in. I love you tremendously. And I'm going to meet you at the top, baby. Peace.